first down yardage and more. He's pushing on edge. Turns the corner at the 30, down the sideline, out near side to Arnett. Arnett cuts back in and has a wide open. And it doesn't get there. And it never gets old saying for this. Let's go Krogery. Welcome in to Inside Raceland Football, season 2026, season 101. Along with Mike Salmons, I'm James Collier. Happy to have you along with us here on the Ram Sports Network. Coach, it just felt like it was a couple weeks ago we were doing this, and it was a little cooler outside. It's here it is, August heat, but the temperatures have finally settled down a little bit. It's gotten a little more comfortable than it has in a bit, but here it is. Another season is up on us.
Yeah, it really goes fast. You know, the cycle. It really comes. I mean, it seems like I know it takes 365 days to go around, or however the scientists teach us that, but it's really a lot quicker. It seems like. But you know, talk about the temperatures. You know, early on, man, it was really steamy. A lot of humidity in early July, right after the dead period. Then at the end of July, the first few days of August, we went to camp, and it's like we got a little bit of a break, a little bit of a reprieve. And then since that time, it's really been a stormy pattern. Mm-hmm. And actually, yesterday was sunny, but felt great. And today was like a beautiful fall practice. I mean, I don't know if the sun shined at all. Nice overcast.
A little bit of rain, a little bit in it.
Yeah, a little mixed in a few raindrops. But yeah, been beautiful weather, and it looks like good weather for Friday. And obviously, we're really excited. Season 101, and you know, the past few years have been really good to our program. And we got a bunch of guys that are hungry to keep it going, and so really excited for the opportunities that lie ahead.
Yeah, these trophies behind us. I mean, you line those up, you're doing something special. And again, a lot of silver up on that stand. And again, everybody wanted gold last year, a special moment, the 100th anniversary. But when you bring home silver, I mean, you're not doing anything, especially when you're doing that many times in a row.
Yeah, you know, I think there's a lot of value and consistency, and we've certainly been able to elevate the program, and then we've been able to stay there. Obviously, there's another rung of the ladder for us to climb. But, you know, we were where we wanted to be. We were playing on the last day of the season. You know, we don't really talk about winning and losing or things like that. We just talk about trying to reach our full potential, getting the playoffs, and trying to earn 7 days more together as a team. And we were there at the last stands and the last day, and maybe the last few minutes even of Class A football. So it didn't end that day the way we wanted it. But, you know, there's always time to reflect and learn and try to grow from that, and things that you were able to do to be able to even get the opportunity to be in that moment. And so those things don't go unnoticed and unwavered, and also learning moments. And you know, I always tell the guys, you know, they talk about Mount Everest. I think it's the highest mountain in the world or whatever. So many people actually pass away trying to climb it. And you know, the problem is, the higher you go the mountain, the thinner the air is. And so I think that's one thing our program's really learned, and I'm really excited to get back out there and then try to start another journey together.
You know, that group of seniors, they didn't know anything else other than playing on the first Friday in December. This group of seniors, they're in that same boat. And again, we've talked about this last season. The seniors don't really want that lets go of the rope and don't get that opportunity.
Yeah, you know, back-to-back classes, right? That's all they know. They played, you know, their careers have always ended up till now on the last day of the season for Class A football. So that's obviously something to be really proud of. Probably not something that can be repeated by a lot of people. Certainly not something that's been repeated over time by anybody. So certainly a lot of tradition there, but also with that comes a lot of responsibility. And I think our guys really grasp onto that responsibility that comes with that. Nobody, you know, I used that line earlier in the season, some interview, the cleats to whistle guy. Everybody wants to let go of the rope. Everybody wants to hold on to the rope, because at some point, you know, even the guys from, you know, the 25 season, you know, they're really rooting for the 26 guys. Mm-hmm. And the 26 guys, they don't know it, but they're going to really root for the 27 guys. Nobody wants to be the one to let it go and let it down. And none of the people that have been before them want to see that either. So there becomes a lot of tradition, a lot of responsibility there, and a lot of pride. And that's kind of the backbone of who we are, not only as a program, but as a school and as a community. You look at what you had last year, 12 seniors last year that had a tremendous amount of varsity experience. Yeah. You've got 16 seniors this year. And again, a lot of experience return, especially on that defensive side in your skill positions. So the foundation for that program has been there for the last 2 seasons. And again, it's that next guy up mentality for those guys that have to step up for that next role. Yeah, 16 seniors. That's as big as a class we've had here. I think this class actually started out, you know, over 20 now. That's probably 8th, 9th grade. And so you always have some attrition as you go through the program, and that's to be expected. Guys find roles, guys, life happens, other events happen, and, sometimes they find that their role doesn't fit for, what their goals are. But with back-to-back big senior classes and really a lot of experience, a lot of big game experience, big moment experience to draw from. Go back 2 years ago to the 24 season, it wasn't so much like that, right? We started out, obviously we struggled a little bit early. We were 1-3 at one time, and guys were still trying to figure it out. And a lot of those same guys that we had in 25 and some of the same guys you have in 26 were a big part of that 24 team. And so we have some experience to build on. We have some guys that are going to be seniors that nobody has heard of, that are really true program guys that really have just been waiting on their turn. And to me, that's what makes this special. There's certain guys that are heralded for us, the Wallers and the Arnett's and the Stiltners and, even like Headley and Toole. But there's other guys that nobody knows about that will be monumental for us this season. And, I think about the guys in the past those guys that fill those roles the past 2 seasons, kind of the role they take on. It's really what makes the program. Guys like that really buy in, the guys that come in, value the weight room, worked on their bodies, played JV ball, maybe found a special team here and there, probably, got their nose bloodied in the scout team. And so now they have a sense of urgency and they're hungry. And so those guys make it fun. And I think that's kind of what we've been able to hang our hat on over time. Obviously, it takes everybody pulling that rope in the same direction. But our locker room's really connected. This team is a little different in a sense that we do have 16 seniors, but both our 10th and 11th grade class are, under a dozen. Freshman class a little bit bigger. The freshman class maybe resembles the senior class in some ways like that. Maybe not quite 16, but close. And so there's some inexperience in between there. But just like there was in the past, those guys will get it. They'll get a full JV schedule. And then they'll get, whatever happens to them on Friday night. Some of them will be thrust into action. Some of them will earn their way. And some of them will wait their turn. And so that's really what makes the program special. And that's really what makes us exciting as we try to put all like I told the guys, feel like we got the right people. We got them on the right bus. We do not have them in the right seats just yet, but we have time to get it done.
And that was kind of the thing last year was, we had that same conversation before you left to go to Ashland and the PRP trip down to Pikeville. And even at Pikeville, you told me, you said, we still feel like we don't have everybody in the right seats. And it's just those little adjustments that it takes of finding this person in this point or this person in that point, and everything all of a sudden starts to click.
Yeah, I'm a Kentucky basketball fan, I guess, and I know you're a Carolina guy, but, back when Calipari was really on his run, he kept talking about these tweaks, we don't really have tweaks, but just, someone comes out of the woodwork that you're not expecting. And then sometimes it's, you recognize it, but sometimes it's by necessity. Somebody cramps, somebody gets hurt, somebody gets banged up, somebody loses their helmet, got to come out for a play, their backup goes in, next thing you know, they'll give it back up. I know you're a baseball fan too. I guess they get Wally Pipp, per se. But and so that's the thing. We'll see what guys kind of fit those roles. We're not going to have the answers on Friday. That's why this game is such a great opportunity and monumental task for us, because it really shows us where we are deficient. And the football team can really grow from that. And that's what really makes this fun.
One of the things you talked about last year at Ashland, Bloss goes down with a knee, and Jackson King comes in and not only fills the void that Bloss had until he came back late in the part of the season, but he also gave you some valuable depth there at the linebacker position. And having an issue to where you don't have enough spots to put people on the field, that's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it really is. And Jackson's probably a perfect example of what I'm trying to talk about. A year ago, Jackson was our lead tackler. Nobody talks about it. Wasn't a starter week 1. And little known fact, and a credit to Jackson, he wasn't a starter week 15. Bloss came back, Lockwood got hurt, Jackson stayed in there. Then at the end, Lockwood came back, and so, Jackson was kind of the rotate guy. And this didn't, this is how it worked out. And so those are the type of guys that really make the thing go. The guys like Jackson King who step in, the guys like Brody Brumfield, guys that, you don't really see or talk about or know about. Maybe they're not as physical daunting, but man, if you cut that sternum open, man, that's a big heart in there. And that's really the heartbeat of us and kind of what makes this program tick and kind of what helped us over the past decade, I guess, since we went to finals, kind of grow and ascend and continue to grow and not necessarily have those peaks and those valleys, really trying to level off and try to be consistent in our approach. And, that's kind of been our heartbeat. And, those guys are fun. Those guys are enjoyable. And their teammates really rally behind them.
It was a crazy season. The way that you finish at Ashland, the walk-off kick there by Waller, the tough loss at Pikeville in the Lightning Bowl. And you and I, we talked at length after that game, and you said, the thing of it is that either something positively or negatively was going to come from that game. And that you kind of felt like if you were around the program enough, that game really rallied the team together and kind of put the outside noise away, and you could really see how they responded the rest of the season.
Yeah, it really did. When you had adverse moments, and there'll be adverse moments in 26. I don't know when. I would anticipate in 2 nights, but I don't know when. There'll be adversity that sets in. And so the question is, how does your team react? What type of foundation, what type of strength, what type of core essence have you built as a player, as a unit, as a, team in the locker room to be able to stay connected in those moments, because not everything's going to go as scripted. We've lived through that firsthand. And I think what everybody saw in the 25 team that, our essence was strong coming out of that game. And that game was probably a game that you could probably write a book about, as far as the way things unfolded. And maybe some people still wouldn't believe it. But it really tested those type of core values, that type of, how connected are you? How strong are you? How connected can this football team be to overcome adversity? And for the next, whatever it was that week 3, I guess for the next, 12 weeks, you saw the response. And so, that's what you hope. That's not always what you get. But also sometimes you see some of that, you see glimpses of that. You hope you know what you got. But at the same time, you got to grow through that. And, as tough as it was, it's either going to make us or break us. That's kind of how adversity, it either pulls you together or tears you apart. And so our guys really pulled together. And that's great strength for our current team to reflect on. Now, the different group of guys, different group of personalities, different group of leaders, everybody's a year older, different guys in the locker room, all those type of things. But the program leads itself. The program is in front of everybody else. And so they know the response and what's expected. And that was a big monumental, step forward for our program and for our team last year.
There was 2 other moments that stick out in my head going back through last season. One at Hazard. They take the opening kickoff and they go right down the field, easily punching in for 7. Yeah. You guys responded from there. The last game in the regular season, East Carter, very adverse conditions, terrible footing, a sloppy field that both teams had to grind through in the trenches. And I thought that was a good game for you guys to build on going into the postseason. And both of those moments were key elements of everything that was 2025.
Yeah, on the road, both opportunities.
A lot of road warrior games last year.
Even the 2 games you talked about earlier, the opener to Ashland and week 3, all on the road. So really putting a little bit more adversity, when you take your show on the road. But the Hazard game, long ways from home, and after the opening drive, we really essentially took control of the game. Really never was in doubt after that. The East Carter game was a tremendous opportunity for us going into the playoffs. We couldn't play fast, due to the field conditions, things you can't control. Can focus on the things you can control is what we tell our guys. Felt like we were fairly efficient that night. We just turned the ball over. And so they kept the ball away from us some. And obviously we couldn't play fast, couldn't hit no home runs. And we turned it over. So next thing you know, you kind of put yourself in a position where the game's maybe a little closer than what you thought it would be or what it should be, or even the way you look up and it's maybe closer than what you felt like in your mind it was. But our guys really rallied together. And that week 11 game, as you spoke about, was a big piece for us going into the playoffs. We had the first week bye, so we had time to heal up. But I think that was a good test on the road, in some weather, on a natural surface, and really helped our guys, propel into the playoffs.
There was another big moment in that game coming out of halftime. East Carter had the football. Max Burton, a program guy. Yeah. He steps in and gets a big interception there to start the second half. And that right there really it flipped the momentum that felt like East Carter had going into the locker room.
Yeah, I think it went from 1-possession, 2-possession game, and you feel like a night like that, it's going to be really hard to get two scores on the game. The one thing about the 25 team, and I've talked a little bit about this to our team this year, I felt like the 25 team, for the most part, was incredibly consistent. Didn't really have any major letdowns. it's hard to believe in 15 games with a group of teenage boys. You don't have any major, maybe the last 12 minutes of Pikeville, you could talk about that. But, we were extremely efficient. We're really on time, talking about offensively, defensively. We're giving up 12 to 14 points a game. We got to the point where we were, creating some turnovers. We really weren't giving up explosive plays. We were kind of really methodical in our approach, and we were just really consistent. Not a lot of, peaks, valleys, not a lot of acceleration at the top or the bottom of the valley. And so that was a credit to our older leadership. We maybe wasn't, we maybe weren't as aggressive enough as we needed to be. Maybe we weren't as assertive at times as what we could have been, but we were extremely consistent. Yeah. And I think that's what the 25 team, left behind, the legacy they left behind, how they showed up to work. And the results spoke for themselves. And so that's the challenge of 26. Can we do that? And can we build on it? Can we be more assertive? Can we be more aggressive? Can we have a little bit more killer instinct behind us? And by the way, you got to be consistent in everything you do. And so those are the challenges that lie ahead of us. So what we hope is the next 4 months.
With the offense, the way that it was last year, it all started up front. The consistency across that offensive line that allowed you to let your quarterback do what he did. Your three-headed monster in the backfield, let those go do what they did. The skill guys out on the edges of Ison and Rousey that could get an open space. Eli Evans, another guy that came on there late. Just so many weapons, much like what you have this year. And again, it goes back to show how much consistency has to be up front.
Yeah, a lot of, even the game in 2 days, we really feel firmly it'll be decided at the line of scrimmage, positive or negatively for us. Both sides, offensive line and defensive line. And really, that's how football games are won, particularly big football games and particularly championship football games. They always say no line, no shine, right? And so that's a big part of us. And all starts in high school football with being able to stop the run or run the ball. So whoever can kind of control the line of scrimmage typically gives himself the best chance to win, assuming they don't turn it all over. Mm-hmm. And so that was a big part of us last year, right? You talked about our defensive line earlier. I had a dynamite nose guard, Chris Spradlin, again, a program guy. And then, 2 defensive ends that, of course, are back for us. Good linebacking crew. And then our offensive line last year, had 4 senior starters. And so, obviously, we're trying to pick up the pieces from that and make some adjustment, but they were extremely experienced, from the 24 team. They were extremely, had a lot of game activity, a lot of big games, a lot of adverse moments. Again, we were at one time there in mid-September, we were 1-3 in 24. And so guys really had to dig down deep. And so we really leaned on those guys all year, and they were most definitely our catalyst.
When you look at the defensive side for you guys, 8 starters returning this year. You lost 1 from each level, 1 from the line, 1 from linebacker, 1 from the secondary. What do you like about what you see from those guys that return with the experience that they bring from last couple of seasons they bring to the table?
I think just a little bit, first of all, we got some experience back, and so that's, very valuable. The biggest thing I see is it appears as if, now we've only had 2 scrimmages, so, Friday will be a totally different task, but we feel like our guys are really, really dialed in on running to the ball. Maybe a little bit more senior, like you would hope, blue collar guys that are returning starters, kind of want, they want the menu, they want fed, they want the game plan, they want to practice it, and then they want to go do it. The extracurriculars don't really, entice them too much. They're just kind of, they're ready to get on to it. Whatever they need to practice, they know that. Whatever looks they need to see, whatever adjustments we're going to make to this respectable look or that respectable look, and then they're ready to go. And early on in the preseason, I felt like, we've been able to run the ball really well. We've really preached on that and harped on that for several years now. Been a big part of us. Our guys are really rallying to the ball. I feel like, we have some guys over there that maybe run a little bit better at some spots than we have in the past. And at the end of the day, it starts in the box. The front 7 guys have, you said 5 guys back of the 7 who have big time game experience. We're not talking about guys who, just started a game last year. Like there's 2 or 3 guys on our defense that started in back-to-back state finals. So they've had 30 some starts underneath their belt. So these guys are experienced. Our challenge is, hey, can you get better at the little things? Can you make sure your first step is efficient? Can you make sure your hand placement's where it needs to be? Whereas maybe when they were trying to make their way, we were just trying to get them in the right gap. Now some of the things is a little bit more fine. And so early on, our guys have been really detailed in that approach. The back end guys in the secondary, we're still working through. We got some, graduated couple back there, including a safety. So it's a big part of who we are. And again, we have veterans back there. just maybe guys you've not heard of yet. And so we're really excited for them. And, felt like we've been running the ball. The first scrimmage at Pelfrey, we kind of got knocked around a little bit. First of all, credit to them. They're going to probably do that to a lot of people.
I think so.
That's number one. Number two, what they do is a real challenge, even if you have time to prepare for it. And a scrimmage, you're just trying to a little bit cold turkey and just see how guys react. And we're trying to coach on the fly. And so I thought our response has been good. Our body language has been good. We've had good leadership. Seems like the locker room's been really connected early on. Of course, today was the first day of school. And I wouldn't say guys are dragging, but I feel like guys will go home tonight and go to bed. Yeah. For sure. And so just getting that routine of trying to be consistent, get our work in, bring our lunch pail every day. And really excited about the defensive guys, kind of leading the way, particularly while we give time for our offensive line to kind of step up.
All right, we're going to step out for a break. When we come back, we got 3 players in the house tonight, Landen Stiltner, Jake Waller, and Brycen Tuell. They're going to face something different this year. It's not pick 6, it's cover 0, and it's next as we continue here on Inside Raceland Football on the Ram Sports Network.
Searching for a family care provider? You can find an SOMC family care office close to wherever you happen to be, where you'll be served by an entire team of healthcare professionals with roots in our local community, all easily reachable through one simple phone number. And at some of our offices, you'll have the convenience of extended hours, same-day scheduling, and weekend appointments. Looks like we just made your search a whole lot easier. The family care providers of SOMC. Very good things are happening here.
When joint and muscle pain slow you down, let Doc get your body realigned at Johnson Chiropractic. Dr. Shannon Johnson offers a wide variety of treatments from chiropractic care, corrective exercises, and electrical stimulation. Doc also offers DOT exams and drug screens. He also provides pre- and postnatal chiropractic services to help new mothers alleviate stress drug-free. To schedule an appointment, call 606-473-5151 or visit them online at drshannonjohnson.com. That's Johnson Chiropractic's proud supporter of Raceland Athletics.
Trust is something earned, not given. For over 90 years, KFB has built trust in your community. We believe our neighborhood is our responsibility. Through our quality service, innovative products, and local decision-making, we are committed to your financial success. Better financials lead to a better life. All with the Better Bank headquartered in Boyd County and serving the tri-state. KFB, the bank you trust and the community you love.
Since 1992, DSI has been serving their customers with quality products and affordable prices for 33 years. DSI offers a wide variety of gear for your favorite team and also offers wholesale and retail screen printing, embroidery, vinyl, and direct-to-film applications. DSI also welcomes your custom design for your team, business, or anything you may need. Have a vision? Let DSI's custom design team make that vision a reality. For over 30 years, DSI has been the trusted name for quality products at an affordable price. Check them out at 511 Greenup Avenue in Raceland or online at supertees.com.
What if every purchase showed your community pride? At Ashland Credit Union, they can. With our Community Spirit debit card program, every swipe supports what matters most. Our students, our schools, and our community. From morning coffee to Friday night lights, show your spirit everywhere you go. Use the credit option and we'll donate 10 cents to your chosen Community Spirit partner. Visit Ashland Credit Union to get your Community Spirit debit card and start giving back today.
When you are hungry and on the go, stop by the Rams Dairy Bar for your next meal. Rams Dairy Bar offers mouth-watering cheeseburgers and hot dogs made any way you like them with plenty of sides to choose from. Don't forget to grab an ice cream cone to go or a hand-dipped milkshake with a variety of flavors. Rams Dairy Bar also offers a full selection of flavored coffees to get your day moving in the right direction. The next time you're hungry and don't know where to go, swing by the Rams Dairy Bar, proud supporters of Raceland Athletics for over 25 years.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net.
Ison's Cards and Collectibles, located at 214 Main Street in Old Russell, is your headquarters for sports collectibles, along with a huge selection of Funko Pop characters, from sports figures to novelty characters to choose from. Ison's also offers team apparel for pro and collegiate teams and has varsity team jackets available for all local teams with customization available. Ison's features several autographed jerseys for purchase with cards for every set available as well. Stop by Ison's Cards and Collectibles, located on 214 Main Street in Old Russell, and check them out on Facebook. When Faith opened Ram Pharmacy, many said a pharmacy would never make it in Raceland. Too small, not enough traffic, not a prime location. But one man remembered the words, "If I be lifted up, I will draw all men to me." At Ram Pharmacy, you're more than a customer. We care about your mind, body, and soul, and there's no thing we wouldn't do to help you with your healthcare needs. Proud supporters of Raceland Elementary and the high school, go Rams! Give God the praise and do Curtis a favor. Go to church on Sunday. Call 836-RAMS today. Ram Pharmacy, your friend for life.
And we're back on Inside Raceland Football here on the Ram Sports Network. A big thanks to all of our wonderful sponsors who has jumped on with us here to start the 26-27 school year. We can't do what we're doing here with the network without all those wonderful supporters. If you or your business are interested in becoming supporters of our program here for the Ram Sports Network, you can contact me at the school. I will get in contact with you, and we'd love to get you on board with us here. It's every sport. We do it across the board, including all of our special shows and stuff. So if your business or individual are out there want to help the program, reach out, contact me at the school, James.Collier at raceland.kyschools.us, and we'll get you on board. We get the guys in tonight, first edition this year. I'll let you introduce yourselves first, and then we'll get going from there.
Landen Stiltner, number 5, play running back.
Jake Waller, number 10, I play quarterback and punter.
Brycen Tuell, number 53, I play offensive and defensive line.
Guys, I'll start with you. Lane, I'll start with you first. A sour taste. We were talking about these silver trophies behind is really nice, but it's time for a gold one to go up there.
Absolutely.
What, taking last year away, I know you and I, we talked last week. You watched everything. You stayed out there longer than everybody watching. You wanted to see that feeling of watching KCD getting that trophy. What did you take away with that going into the offseason?
I mean, just made me hungry. I mean, like I said, I stayed out there longer, watched everybody celebrate, watched their fans, how they just all cheer. And I knew it should have been us. So it definitely, it left me heartbroken for sure, but it definitely made me hungry. Just going into the offseason, like I said, I took 1 week off, and I was back to it because I knew, like I said, we want the gold. So.
Jake, for you, you were a part of that last offensive play. And again, it was uber close. How much motivation does that give you coming into senior season of getting that extra yard to keep that drive going?
It motivates me a lot. I mean, we have to be successful and get the yard that we needed to get, and coming up short like that, it's heartbreaking, like Landen said. But the motivation it gives me is our offensive line, they've already gotten better from last year with the addition of Kratz helping with the offense and defensive line. I feel like guys like Jensen have really came along. G. Floyd, he's been a great addition to offensive line, who are really going to help us take that next step forward and getting that 1 yard and possibly giving us a better chance at winning the gold.
Brycen, for you, being on the defensive side, getting that stop to get the guys the ball back and having an opportunity, but coming up short. The feeling when you see that, again, it's not going to happen again. What was that like?
I think the past 2 years now that we've been playing in the state championship game, the same feeling you get is just like a sour. You get angry and then take a week and mope on it, and then now it's just like a hunger, kind of like feeling starved.
Definitely.
2 days away from senior year actually starting. You've had the scrimmages and stuff, but it's these are the games that matter. For you, what's it going to feel like, Landen, going out there senior night, running through that tunnel out here at home against Ashland?
Emotional for sure. I say I'll probably cry a little bit, but I'll be motivating for me. Just knowing it's my last ride with everybody. I give 100% on the field. I normally give 100%, but I definitely a little extra more just because my senior year, my last game, so my first game would be great. And then just seeing all the fans is great. Just an amazing feeling for me. And then that's really it.
Jake, coming out of that tunnel senior year, what's it going to feel like? That final time for a home opener as your season opener?
As Landen said, it's definitely going to be emotional. I mean, before the game, my mom always comes over and hugs all of her. She calls them her guys, the guys that come over to the house and hang all the time. So I'll probably be a little teary-eyed, but going out playing my first game against Ashland, it's definitely going to be a great game. I feel like our team is ready. We've prepared well enough. They've been marked on our schedule since July 10th when we started coming out here for practice. So I'm really excited to see what we can do, and hopefully we come out with a victory.
Tool for you being on the defensive line. You guys kind of set the tone, and especially last year, that was the bread and butter of what this team did. One more go around for you here at home. How's it going to be here 2 nights from now?
There's a lot of emotions, which I play with a whole lot of emotions. So trying to control those is obviously a challenge every week, especially this week. But setting the tone is a big thing, and you play with emotion, you set a big tone.
When you look at your opponents, and again, Coach always says you go 1-0 this week. You go 1-0. And again, anytime that you get Ashland on the schedule, especially over the last few years, it's been a great rivalry that it's turned into. How do you like playing games like that, especially a season opener? Because, like Coach has talked about so many times, you find out your discrepancies and your shortcomings real quickly, and it sets you up for what you need to do for the rest of the season. Lane, I'll start with you.
Yeah, I think it's great. Definitely playing that competition week 1. I think it makes us better right away. Obviously, down the road, once playoffs come, we're a whole nother team as well. But just playing that first game, I think it's great. Just the competition we have between us and Ashland, I think it's great. So,
Jake, we talked last week at Meet the Rams. I said, I don't know if we could come up with something that you could overtake last year's high. What a way to walk it off down at Putnam. But again, understanding the ebbs and flows of the game for you, how much have you watched the game slow down over since your sophomore season until where you get ready to start here Friday night for senior year?
Yeah, it's definitely slowed down for sure. Like my sophomore year, I was playing against guys like Braxton Jennings and those guys that are playing Division I football now. And to playing last year, hitting the kick. We were actually talking today, some of my buddies, we were talking about how last year I hit a kick and how cool it would be to see Jackson hit a game-winning field goal against Ashland this year. But yeah, I don't know, it's just like playing in games like that to start the season. It really shows you like where you're at coming in from the off season to the very first game, going through your scrimmages, and then leading into the rest of the games. I feel like Ashland really helps us be successful against teams like Pikeville, because you definitely can't look over them. They're one of the better teams in 1A. So playing a team that's 4A like Ashland, it just really helps us in the long run.
Tool, when you look at what Ashland brings to the table, it's no secret they always have great skill guys. They've got a ton of talent, very speedy. And it's like he said, you're going to find out how much things need to change real quickly. How do you like that test, game 1, when you start into the season?
I like it. Get out of the way. There's so much energy going to that game. And then you don't have to have any extra motivation playing Ashland, especially with how our last season ended. So going in, setting the tone up front, you can be as fast as you want, you got to run and tackle. So that's just setting the tone.
I'll start Landon here with you. One goal for you this senior season that you want to see happen?
Just win the gold.
One goal. Just win the gold?
Yeah, win the gold, obviously, but personal, just like I said, just keeping the team together. That's big for me. Just everybody in the locker room staying together. Like I said, it's my senior year. I want to stay as close as I can with everybody else. I made a point, we have a group chat, like for varsity guys. I made a point about everybody watching film tomorrow night, just all together, just making memories before we all graduate. Mm-hmm. So just probably just staying together as a team and just trying to be a leader for our team.
Jake?
One goal I have, obviously, win the gold. And like Landon said, keep the team chemistry together. One personal goal I have is I feel like I need to value the ball a little bit better. I've made some iffy throws in the past couple of years, and coming to my senior season, seeing what I can improve on for my sophomore and junior year, it's really helped me see the field better and read the defense with more confidence in order to give my guys the ball, make the right reads with handing the ball to Stiltner, throwing RPOs to Jonah or Eli.
Brycen?
Win gold. I think it's the only goal that I think we all can share. Personally, I think just being a guy that our coaches and players can lean on, not just on the field, but off the field, to be a leader with, we got young guys. They need leadership. I was a young guy once. Mm-hmm. So everybody here, just being that guy that they can lean on, depend on.
Yeah, 16 seniors. What's that like in a locker room, having that many guys? And again, a lot of those guys are returning guys that's been here for a while. And you've got some new faces that's kind of sprinkled themselves in, but you've got a lot of experience in that locker room that's played in some very meaningful games. What's the biggest thing you look at, Landon, when you've got a group that big that you try to keep everybody together? And it's, again, trying to keep that many people on the same page is not easy.
Yeah, I'd say maturity. That's big for me. We got 16 dudes. I could tell you a few that goof around, Jensen and all them, but
Jensen always comes up, right?
When it's time to work, he'll work.
Yes.
There's a video. He got caught on video pushing somebody on TikTok or something. So just maturity for sure. Just having 16 dudes, just Our locker rooms, we're all together, but, just having 16 dudes that are mature, having freshmen looking up at you, it's just big for us. Just leadership for me, especially. Just being a mature guy in the room, especially on the field as well. It's just big for me.
Jack, Coach always talks about that group that doesn't want to let go of that rope. And you guys have an opportunity to do what last year's group did, play in 4 consecutive state championship games. What's it like? I mean, the thought of always having to pull that same rope and not being the group that lets it go.
It's amazing. Keeping the tradition that we have and what we have going to state and getting there. I feel like this team, we have our 16 seniors, we have the leadership, like as a whole, to take our entire team from guys like me, Stiltner, and Tuell, all the way down to guys like Brantley and Jake and Easton Kelly to tug the team across the finish line and get to where we want to be and win the gold and put it up here with put these silvers down in the floor. And,
we can lower those down a little bit, right?
And put those up on the wall instead.
Tuell, for you were a guy last year that you kind of had a coming out party and a lot of an unknown, but by the end of the year, everybody knew who 53 was out on the end. What was it like for you of having to kind of prove yourself to everybody, knowing you had the ability, but getting a chance to go out there and do that?
I think I've always put a little chip on my shoulder, and I think I'm smaller for my position. So people look at Headley, really big guy. People look at me, really small guy. You want to take advantage of the small guy. So kind of just sticking with Headley. I mean, I'm gonna get laid off of sometimes, and then sometimes he's gonna get laid off of, and we make plays for each other, and not just for each other, but the whole team.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we're going to do a different segment this year. Last year was pick 6. This year, you're getting cover 0. So I'm going to come at you with a blitz. These are rapid fire questions. Landon, I'm going to start with you. In the break, I let them pick which they wanted, A, B, C, or D. Landon selected B. So I've got 6 questions here. I want the first thing that comes to mind when I give you the question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Number 1, what celebrity annoys you the most?
Taylor Swift.
Amen. Number 2, if you could pick the menu for school lunch, what would the menu include?
Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets.
Okay. What sauces?
Chick-fil-A sauce.
Okay, for sure. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where are you going?
I might go to New York.
Okay.
I'm feeling New York right now.
Feeling New York right now. New York state of mind. Who's your idol and why?
I don't got an idol.
No idol.
No,
Okay.
No.
Top 3 cereals. I know the top answer to this. I watched this guy all last year walk down my hallway.
Cocoa Puffs.
Cocoa Puffs. There it is. What's the other 2?
I've been on Captain Crunch.
Okay.
With berries.
With
I have
berries.
My mom brings no berries home sometimes.
That's awful.
Yeah, I mean, like.
Don't do that, Mom.
it's
Don't bring
terrible.
no berries home. Bring all berries home.
Yeah, if she's watching.
Yeah. Don't bring no berries home. Nobody wants to. It's like bringing home cornflakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that.
And then Cinnamon Toast Crunch, probably.
Yeah, that's solid.
I like
Okay.
that.
All right. If you could go back in time, where would you go?
Eighth grade year. Probably 8th grade year. Just spend time with everybody.
Okay. Good deal. All right. You're through cover 0. Good job. All right, Jake. Here we go. Cover 0. You see this a lot, right?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Would you rather wear a helmet with a built-in snack dispenser in it or a uniform that changes color based on your mood?
A helmet with a snack dispenser.
What would be in the helmet?
Probably red Doritos.
Okay. If you are a superhero with football-related superpowers, what would it be and why?
The Hulk.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to be able to tackle me.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Greece.
What is your favorite singer or group?
Favorite singer? Ty Myers.
Okay. What's your biggest superstition?
I don't think I have one.
None?
No.
Okay. A quarterback with no superstitions. That's weird. All right. If you could go back in time and give yourself advice, your freshman self, what would it be?
Take it one step at a time and don't expect success all at once.
All right. Cover 0. You make it, my man. Good job. All right, Tuell, here you go. What is your breakfast go-to food and why?
Bagel with peanut butter and chocolate milk.
Which kind of chocolate milk?
Any
chocolate milk? Okay. What's your go-to pump-up song before a game?
Sleep on the Blacktop by Culture Wall.
Okay. If you could have dinner with any professional football player, past or present, who would it be and why?
Reggie White. He's just dominated every single
Reggie was pretty solid. I was never an Eagles guy, but Reggie White was solid. Chicken or steak?
Chicken.
Insta, Snap, or TikTok?
Snap.
Top 3 cereals?
Frosted Flakes, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Cookie Crisp.
Solid right there. All of those.
Frosted
We're gonna have to have like a cookie, like a cereal convention between us, guys.
We should.
Yeah, we'll do that on the show.
That'd be good.
That'll be a solid. That'll be like bye-week. We'll do a cereal show.
Rate them a little bit.
All right. Well, guys, you all make it through cover 0. Let's talk about one final thing. Again, highs and lows Friday night. But again, our coach says it all. It's one game. It doesn't set the season. There's no new trophies going to go into here. There's no banners going to hang up. How do you control those highs and lows to understand that, yeah, it's an emotional night, but it's only the first night. There's a lot of other nights that you want to still be playing football.
I mean, definitely going to be emotional. That's a big thing for me. Like I feel like I'm an emotional dude on the field. Like everything I do is just straight from my heart. But for me, just seeing all my guys playing, knowing if I do something wrong, if I do just some of my actions cause a penalty or something, just try to not do that just because I got my guys with me. You know, it affects the whole team, not just me. So
yeah, it's going to be kind of hard to top your opening run from last year too, by the way.
That's all right.
Jake, for you?
It's just like what he said, keeping the guys together and knowing that if I mess up, I have guys behind me that will like pick me up and not let me put my head down and focus on the next drive, because who knows, like Wheelersburg last week, we didn't convert on a 4th down, and then the very next possession we got an interception and a turnover with a fumble and scoop and score from, I can't remember who scored. I think it might have been Jonah. But just knowing that our team is behind whoever gets down or whatever happens, it's a great feeling.
Brycen?
I think now there's a reason that our coaches trust us. So not getting in our heads, staying with a clear, poised mind, but I mean also having energy. Coach has been saying this new saying: if you're juiceless, you're useless. So having the juice, but not too much juice, is like the biggest thing this week.
I like it. Juiceless or useless. I like it. All right, guys. Good luck Friday night. We'll talk to you then.
Thank you.
All right, we'll step out for a break. We come back. Coach Salmons will come back in. We'll preview Ashland. It's up here Friday night, and it's right here on the Ram Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
Searching for a family care provider? You can find an SOMC family care office close to wherever you happen to be, where you'll be served by an entire team of healthcare professionals with roots in our local community, all easily reachable through one simple phone number. And at some of our offices, you'll have the convenience of extended hours, same-day scheduling, and weekend appointments. Looks like we just made your search a whole lot easier. The family care providers of SOMC. Very good things are happening here.
When joint and muscle pain slow you down, let Doc get your body realigned at Johnson Chiropractic. Dr. Shannon Johnson offers a wide variety of treatments from chiropractic care, corrective exercises, and electrical stimulation. Doc also offers DOT exams and drug screens. He also provides pre- and postnatal chiropractic services to help new mothers alleviate stress drug-free. To schedule an appointment, call 606-473-5151 or visit them online at drshannonjohnson.com. That's Johnson Chiropractic's proud supporter of Raceland Athletics.
Trust is something earned, not given. For over 90 years, KFB has built trust in your community. We believe our neighborhood is our responsibility. Through our quality service, innovative products, and local decision-making, we are committed to your financial success. Better financials lead to a better life. All with the Better Bank headquartered in Boyd County and serving the tri-state. KFB, the bank you trust and the community you love.
Since 1992, DSI has been serving their customers with quality products and affordable prices for 33 years. DSI offers a wide variety of gear for your favorite team and also offers wholesale and retail screen printing, embroidery, vinyl, and direct-to-film applications. DSI also welcomes your custom design for your team, business, or anything you may need. Have a vision? Let DSI's custom design team make that vision a reality. For over 30 years, DSI has been the trusted name for quality products at an affordable price. Check them out at 511 Greenup Avenue in Raceland or online at supertees.com.
What if every purchase showed your community pride? At Ashland Credit Union, they can. With our Community Spirit debit card program, every swipe supports what matters most: our students, our schools, and our community. From morning coffee to Friday night lights, show your spirit everywhere you go. Use the credit option and we'll donate 10 cents to your chosen Community Spirit partner. Visit Ashland Credit Union to get your Community Spirit debit card and start giving back today.
When you are hungry and on the go, stop by the Rams Dairy Bar for your next meal. Rams Dairy Bar offers mouth-watering cheeseburgers and hot dogs made any way you like them, with plenty of sides to choose from. Don't forget to grab an ice cream cone to go or a hand-dipped milkshake with a variety of flavors. Rams Dairy Bar also offers a full selection of flavored coffees to get your day moving in the right direction. The next time you're hungry and don't know where to go, swing by the Rams Dairy Bar, proud supporters of Raceland Athletics for over 25 years.
Primary Plus is celebrating 40 years of its mission of quality, advanced, affordable health care. With over 11 primary care locations throughout the region, Primary Plus believes in our communities and our patients. The Primary Plus name means primary care plus so much more, offering extended services such as women's health, pediatrics, dental, counseling, diabetes management, infusion services, and on-site pharmacy that offers free delivery. Primary Plus believes in connecting health care for you and your family and is always welcoming new patients. Learn more at primaryplus.net.
Ison's Cards and Collectibles, located at 214 Main Street in Old Russell, is your headquarters for sports collectibles, along with a huge selection of Funko Pop characters, from sports figures to novelty characters to choose from. Ison's also offers team apparel for pro and collegiate teams and has varsity team jackets available for all local teams with customization available. Ison's features several autographed jerseys for purchase, with cards for every set available as well. Stop by Ison's Cards and Collectibles, located on 214 Main Street in Old Russell, and check them out on Facebook. When Faith opened Ram Pharmacy, many said a pharmacy would never make it in Raceland. Too small, not enough traffic, not a prime location. But one man remembered the words, "If I be lifted up, I will draw all men to me." At Ram Pharmacy, you're more than a customer. We care about your mind, body, and soul, and there's no thing we wouldn't do to help you with your healthcare needs. Proud supporters of Raceland Elementary and the high school, go Rams! Give God the praise and do Curtis a favor. Go to church on Sunday. Call 836-RAMS today. Ram Pharmacy, your friend for life.
Back here on Inside Raceland Football, along with head coach Mike Salmons. Big thanks to Landen Stiltner, Jake Waller, and Brycen Tuell. All three successfully beating cover zero. Coach, you look at those three guys, and they are the epitome of that senior class. 16 gentlemen, and those guys are the voice of that locker room. And you can tell it means a lot, but that's the expectations you see that comes out of that door down there.
Yeah, really good young men, good leaders of our football program, good leaders of our community. You know, good kids first. And I think it was Landen that talked about really maturing, and probably coming from him. I think it really resonates. You know, because he's really developed in that area, been a big growth area for him, primarily with his emotions. And again, you heard it from his mouth. He would agree. He'd be the first to speak about it. And that's what's really special about that group. You know, three guys started in the last two state finals, all three of them. In 24, Landen was hurt for so long, and we kept trying to get him back. And, one thing led to another. Anyway, he was able to play in the state finals, albeit not 100%. I talked about the 24 season not long ago, and actually out here right behind us, in front of us, when we played Pikeville that night, Jake came in and kind of almost rallied us to the win that night. And that's when he kind of, he played a couple of JV games. People don't realize that, and just like this year, there'll be some guys that played Monday in the JV game that by the time this thing is over, they won't be JV players. I don't know who they're going to be. I may have an educated guess, but I can't pull it off. You don't know who's going to get hurt, who's going to get the opportunity, who's not going to get the opportunity, who's going to get frustrated and not work, and who's going to keep working. And that Jake really won the football team over that night. Really, really proud of them and the leadership they bring us, kind of different levels. You talk about the defensive level, Tuell level one guy. Of course, Stiltner plays some linebacker for two for us. And talk about on offense, of course, Tuell as a sophomore in 24 was an offensive line starter. 25 was a defensive line starter. 26, something of both, probably some combination of both. Jake's been our real steady hand. Just really an incredibly bright young man, on and off the field. Carries himself well, speaks well, talks well. GSP, right? I mean, that's all you got to know. And really has learned to take care and grow his body. Landen, uber talented, has always been, runs great. But what makes us proud about him is the other things that he's worked on. He's worked on how to stay healthy. Things that maybe hindered him in the past, he's worked through that. Well, what I need to do, I tell these guys too, these guys are, 17, 18 years old. no two bodies are the same. Different bodies are going to react differently. Some guys are going to heal faster than others. Some guys are going to heal differently than others. Some guys are going to react different to different type of therapy. And Landen is obviously tremendous in the weight room, just an explosive athlete. But he's learned how to do some different things to keep himself healthy. It's really, really made a difference. In his junior campaign was, phenomenal. And obviously he got, accolades from it. And then obviously he has an opportunity to continue to play at the next level. And I think if we can go through 26 and he has the same type of, opportunities, I only think they're going to be more and more plentiful for him. But those guys are certainly the voice of the locker room. They got 13 other teammates right there behind them that are with them every step of the way. And, one thing about it, on Friday, there's some uncomfortable moments as a coach when you're on the field. But having guys like that give you a sense of security blanket, no matter what. We're going to find a way to make our way through it, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, and then we'll live to play the next play.
One thing you always say about be where your feet are at the moment. And you look at Landen last year, the big game he had against Ashland. And then we go to PRP, and I think he touched the ball one time for 4 yards.
Yeah.
And you didn't see any negative acts from him. He wasn't upset, frustrated. He was just on to the next week. And again, I think that was that maturity of understanding the bigger picture is not me going out and running for 200 yards at PRP. It's me getting to the finish line healthy.
Yeah, a big growth area there. That's not always been the case. And I can tell you, anytime you have selfless, unselfish football teams, any sporting teams, right? No matter if it's baseball or basketball, football, tennis, golf, softball, don't matter, any sport. Anytime you get a bunch of guys that are unselfish and really pull for each other, just like you heard him talk about, challenging the guys to watch more film. You get guys that are unselfish like that and learn to really bask in the success of the team, then the potential is limitless. And that's what you see. And, we talked to Landen about that a year ago. It's been several seasons ago. Noah Wallace played here, obviously, outstanding player, playing in college right now. And there was one night we played a game out here, and I can't remember if he got 1 carry or 0 carries. And I think he either is or one of the top 5 rushers in school history. And there was one game, I remember it very clearly, he got 0 carries. There's some games in the playoff game one year, I think he got 30-some, and just, whatever the team needs, whatever right at that moment, whatever serves that particular moment, and just be present in it. And like you said, and our guys have done a really good job of that, and I think that's what you see as they get older. And they mature and they're in those moments, those emotionally charged. I heard Brycen talk about being an emotional player. We talk about, we want to play the game with emotion. We got to be, football's an emotional game. No question about it. You don't have emotion. We always say juiceful is useful. If you don't have juice, it's hard to find use. But you got to be able to control those emotions. And therein lies a conflict. But as you grow and go through those experiences, you do a better job of that. And I think that's what you see with those 3 young men. And, really excited to see how their senior campaign goes.
What do you look at when you look at sizing up Ashland this week? Chad does such a great job with that program and has taken over, obviously, spent the time with Tony and the success that they had there. But it's every single year, that you're going to get some phenomenal next level athletes that come through there that have the ability to stretch a field, to take the top off the defense, to make that rally play when they need to. And it's something it's that test that you get in week 1 that allows you to see where you need to go to get for the next 14 weeks.
Yeah, it's a great learning curve for us. I know you're a teacher, and teachers sometimes do the bell curve, and you have the, I can't remember the standard deviations and all this type of thing, and in science and medical field, but that game, the curve is steep. The learning curve is accelerated. And that's why it's important to us. That's why this game is, that's obviously a credit to them, the things they do. I know Coach Tack a long time, he's got some Raceland ties back in his background, and, had some family go here and so on. And, Coach Dowdy, one of his top assistants, he was one of my high school football coaches, and just a lot of mutual respect there from everybody. Now, when we tee it up on Friday, everybody's going to compete really hard, but when it's over, we're going to try to pull for each other for the next 14 weeks, however it may be. And they do a really good job. I think the first thing that comes out to them is, but everybody's had 2 scrimmages, so, you got to understand and try to judge yourself on that. But the appearances, at least initially, their team speed is special. And I don't mean like one guy or like 2 guys. This guy can run or that guy can run. Like And I don't mean at one level. I don't mean like, maybe in the secondary they run well. It appears as if they run really well all three levels. And on offense, it feels like it appears as if they run well at all skill positions with multiple skill guys. Again, in scrimmages, a lot like us, I'm sure that they'd say the same thing. They sub, get a lot of guys in looks, try to get guys on film, teach guys, coach guys, etc. But it appears they really, have an abundance of team speed. The quarterback, we didn't play against him last year. I think we did play against him last year in the JV game. We kind of talk about the same maybe growth that Jake went through. He kind of took over the team later in the season, I do believe.
Right before playoffs.
Yeah, right before playoffs. We played against a used kid, and, the used kid on the outside is obviously just a phenomenal talent. He's a next level talent, probably in multiple sports. It sounds like I don't watch as much basketball, but, it sounds like he's definitely a multi-sport potential athlete in college. Looks like on the line of scrimmage, they're extremely aggressive. They got some new faces, but they got some experience. Simpkins' kids is outstanding football player. We played against him for a while. He's been there for a while. He's kind of their senior leader. Of course, the Ashby kid, I think he's got some Division I offers. I played against him for a while. He's coming off an injury and really worked hard. And, those guys are in the community. We see those guys sometimes. And it'll be a real challenge. I mean, I think that the biggest thing we'll have to get on the field and try to judge is how fast do they run? And do we have to make some adjustments to be able to handle that? When it's all said and done, and the emotion wears off, and we're halfway through the first quarter or whatever, it's going to come down to blocking and tackling. Who can win the line of scrimmage, and who can find a way to control the run game, whether positive for your offense or your defense stops the other team's run game, and then you got to value the ball. If you do those things, and in the process, hopefully don't give up too many home runs, or if you're able to hit a home run, that's usually the recipe for success in big games.
And you look at a game like that, and it came down to it last year. You always talk about, hit a home run, stop a home run, something in the kicking game, and you come down, have to kick a field goal to win it. And it was a big win. And it wasn't the exclamation point for the season by any means, but it was certainly a good foundation to build upon.
It was. I think about the game last year. We hit a home run. That's one thing early on in the game. But then I talk about valuing the ball. I think we were -3, I believe.
You were -3.
In a turnover game. So in that regard.
And that's what allowed Ashland to get back in the ball game.
And in that regard, if you really study that, you probably say, well, you probably got lucky, right? I mean, if you turn the ball over 3 times and you win, then that's tough, right? I think you talked about the East Carter game earlier in the show, like the same type of thing. I think we were -3 that night. And somehow or another, we're able to be successful. But yeah, you really gotta, you gotta try to manage those type of things. But we were able to, make some kicks. Really felt like, we got obviously utmost confidence in our kicking game, and those things kind of help us, move along. We got, Jake's a kicker, his older brother's a kicker. Seth Moore's done a great job for us, left-footed kicker. He kicked a lot in the scrimmage last week, so we got Jackson some kicks too, and trying to manage those guys' workloads. And kickers can get sore too, and so you gotta try to work them. But really, it's a 48-minute game. We really got to try to hang in there for 48 minutes to give ourselves a chance late. There's been some years in this game where their depth has really wore on us, and we got to make sure. Sometimes it's hard as a coaching staff, but you really got to commit for 48 minutes. You really got to make sure that, you can sub and you're comfortable subbing, and you don't change your, it's easy to say, I'm going to do this, and this when your coach's office, the lights are off. It's 7:30 at night, not everybody here, and there's no emotion. But you got to make sure when you get in the game, you stick to the game plan. You got to make sure that you get your guys in and out of the game, keep them fresh, and you get to the fourth quarter. Last year this game was a big momentum boost for us. I heard you say earlier, there's no trophies handed out. This game will tell us exactly where we stand, win or lose, things we need to work on, things that we're good at, things that we are not good at. And that's why it's important. You've heard me talk, you've asked me before, that the RPI stuff is not a factor in who we are and what we do. At least for this year, the first 2 rounds are dictated by your district. So who cares? Again, I've said it before, you get the final 8, we'll drive from here to Paducah. Next year, I think they're going to, make RPI effective round 2. So maybe that's a little bit more moving the needle, maybe. But the fact of the matter is, again, if there's 16 teams left, wouldn't you go anywhere to play?
Sure.
Versus being at home. So, to us, being uncomfortable playing these good teams early, really challenging you is really what makes it about. It'll springboard one way or another. There's been several years that they got the best of us, and we were able to take that back, learn from it, and move forward. And, if that happens, and that's fine. Obviously we want to make sure we put our best foot forward and do the things we can do to be successful, the things we feel like we have an opportunity to execute. And then obviously when we get in the game, we got to be able to make adjustments.
Last year, it was mid-September before the team came home. This year, 6 home games in the regular season. And I was out here Monday doing some work on getting ready for the game on Friday night. And there was already 4 lawn chairs up here in the end zone. Lawn Chair Nation is coming out strong. I mean, it is lined already. It's Wednesday, and there are lawn chairs side to side, sideline to sideline. I mean, the community support that you get, it's second to none.
Yeah, I was, of course, I live around the corner. Everybody knows that. And I was over here on Monday, and I saw 3 or 4 chairs in the south end zone. I'm like, it's kind of early in the week for that, on Monday. And then I'm out there today, and both end zones are deep, sideline to sideline. Mm-hmm. And then I see the garbage bags. So I guess everybody's worried about the rain. But yeah, there's certainly a buzz around the community, right? We got 3 home games to start the season, so you're automatically week 4 before we go on the road, which will put you back to middle of September, almost like a year ago. Maybe actually, I think it's September 11th.
Yeah.
Before we go on the road, we've never had in my time here, we've never had a 6 home game schedule. This is unusual for us. Mm-hmm. Again, not really how we want it. We like 5 and 5. It just sometimes doesn't work out and challenging. To make schedules. It's just been really, really challenging. Going backwards and going forwards, even the schedules of the future are really challenging. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, the community support, I would envision a really large crowd here Friday. I'm assuming they'll bring a great crowd. Maybe the infrastructure here is not as big as what they're used to, but that's part of the aura of who we are. It makes it special. People are going to be right on top of you. You're going to be people right on the track, people right on your neck, and people really building it. It'll be a great high school atmosphere for high school students, and that's really what it's about. And it's not just the football players. Both teams, I'm sure, have cheerleaders. We'll have our dance team. Our bands will be here. There'll be a lot of groups that benefit from this game. That can really, kind of boost them for the season. And that's really what it's about. I told somebody in an interview before the season that this is a community team. This is a community school. That's who supports this school. It's 5 square miles. It has to be. We don't have infrastructure. We don't have franchise. We don't have businesses per se. I mean, there's a handful. We could count them on one hand. I heard you talking about earlier, trying to get some advertising and so on and so forth. And we got people that are tremendous to us in what we do. There's just not that many of them down Greenup Avenue. That's just the reality of it. But I'm really excited for the opportunity. I think our kids will enjoy it and learn from the moment as we move through. Again, we hoping to play 15 weeks in a bye week. That's 16 weeks. That's 4 months. There's a lot of growth going to occur in 4 months.
For sure. All right. If you can come out, certainly join us for the game, 7:30 kickoff. If you cannot make it, you can always watch it right here on your home for the Rams Sports Network. Our Countdown to Kickoff show will begin at 7:10. We'll put it in the air at 7:30 for the home opener and the season opener for season 101 and season 2026. Coach, always a pleasure. We'll talk to you next week. We'll break it all down and see how things go.
Appreciate it, James. Thank you.
Big thanks to Jacob Hankins and Felicia Collier behind the scenes. All the players that we came in this evening, Landen Stiltner, Jake Waller, Brycen Tuell, for Coach Mike Salmons. I'm James Collier. So long, everyone.
He'll go right up the gut. He's got first down yardage and more. He's pushing side edge. Turns the corner at the 30, down the sideline, out near side to Arnett. Arnett cuts back in and has a wide open. And it doesn't get there. No. And it never gets old saying for this. Let's go Krogering.